Welcome back, everyone, to the Great Ace Eternity, part 23, if I'm correct. And we're in the trial of the 5th case, basically. And we just basically changed the minds of 4 judges again for giving the testimony of 2 basic bandits. And then Mr. Gregson. I presume you've heard the defense's examination? Oh, yeah, Governor. I did, Gov. I did. Mr. Skulkin. Blimey. This is going to be hard work. Yeah. We found some sketchy evidence that early in the trial we gave the following testimony about your actions after you entered in Windibanks. Well, it was Badlands soon, weren't it? It was, Nash. It was. Didn't even have time to pull me dukes out of Lucy Lockett's. However, that was a lie. You brothers. Blimey! On the night in question, you rifled through the items on your victim's counter. You have never done the sort. Why'd you figure that out? You will now give formal testimony once again. You will tell the court precisely what happened on the night in question. And this time, you will tell the truth. Each lie he passes, their lip serves to increase the severity of your punishment. There we go. And that, gentlemen, may deal you a crushing blow to your chances of every yeah. Look at their mouths. They kind of remind me of a certain duo, except they also don't. Simon, we urge you. We'll blab, we'll speak, we'll peach. Legal entry, the whole truth. Alright, we did knock a few things over, but weren't rifling for nothing. That's when we heard the gunshot, see? We missed both jump, and all that stuff went flying. Clumsy. It did get fright. We was thinking the should have gone out on the door to get us next. We stuck everything back where we found it and scuppered, straight into black. We couldn't have shot the pawnbroker, see? We never even had a chance, did we? Sir, Mr. Defense's accusation. Here's ransack Mr. Windibank's counter. Yeah, I'm the one in question. Not ransack, Governor. That's right, Nash. That's right. It's more like we did tied up. Yeah. Sorry. By their own admission, these brothers entered the pawnbroker under dubious circumstances. However, they panicked and fled the way you say it, will hardly sound like robs at all. We don't, Nash. We don't. Can't it make us sound like a bit more cutthroat? Can't just be coincident that these men stood up with Windibanks that night. There's more to their testimony than meets the eye. I'm sure of it. Alright, we did knock. Oh. Hold it! That's the case, then why did you testify for that in the first place? Well, you know, we ain't exactly squeaky clean, are we? We ain't, Nash, we ain't. We admitted something like that, people would think it was up to no good. We said, Ringo, we all chin up. Yeah. In fact now, as a result of lying in your previous testimony, that's exactly what you've done. Land yourselves in even more trouble. Isn't that a catch-22? Yeah, that's rotten luck. That is a rotten eater. Yep. Witnesses. Explain your actions in the court. Why did you ransack the victim's counter? We never ransacked nothing. Right, Nash, narrate. More tied up the place. Sorry. They're totally suspicious. Hold it! So what you're saying is, the sound of the gunshot shocked you so much, you knocked all those things off the counter? Well, it shocked one of us that much, yeah. This bag of nerves never to learn this shirt on. Look, it was rail, right? Blimey, the dead granny. Yeah. Bruv, they're speaking so slang. They knock over the old bucks, candlestick and some skull whatnot. That's why we got in some marionette, who knocked over the picture frame, what knocked them scales on the floor. You really mastered work quietly then. What a racket, me granny have... Yeah, blah blah blah. And so short, the gunshot you took by surprise. And then... Yeah, blah blah.
Right. Excuse me!
Let's get something interesting here. Inspector Gregson, do you have something to say? Like I keep saying, don't appreciate being lumped in with these scoundrels. No, something to add about their testimony. You seem to react just now to what Mr. Sculpin said. Did it make you think of something? It's probably nothing, of course. I wouldn't even bother to mention it. Only, well, the fact is, cases don't get solved if you ignore the little details. How about just tell us what's going on in your mind? As you know, we brought these fellows in the yard for questioning last night, and the statement they gave to them told a slightly different story of what they're saying now. Yeah. Did it? You claimed you heard the victim shout something out before the gunshot. We may have, Gov. May have. Does that ring a bell now, Janet? Granted, it's only a minor detail, but still. I can't help feeling like perhaps you've been a bit sloppy. Yeah. Sloppy, definitely. Tested. If I discover the witness testimony has been any more sloppy than it has to be, I shall be forced to bring the very harshest punishment to bear against them. Execution! We'll get it right this time. That's it. Yep. It's all coming back to me now. Then speak. Supplement your testimony with whatever details have miraculously returned to your questionable minds. Sirs? Right as you are. Gov. Just before we heard a voice yelling out, "Give me that gun!" A book.
Hold it!
So in fact, you heard the voice and the gunshot almost simultaneously. Well, did have Gov yet, yeah. Although, I suppose if you're being honest, we heard a kind of wavering voice before I yell and all. If you don't want to get shot, give me that gun! Bam! Kind of thing. A career in acting tragically missed. And whenever your voice is coming from, could you tell? Of course we could. From the other side of the door behind the counter it was. In the storeroom, where the victim was found dead. And the voice you heard, it was that of the victim, Mr. Windibank. On my Grammy's life, because it was. That's Grammy's life, of course it was. So, that would mean that you both knew about Mr. Windibank and the sound of his voice. So what does that mean? What? These two are idiots. Yes, counsel. Indeed it would. Nah. We didn't know anything either. How much was that? When the bloke and all fuss each other giving the to you all right. If you value your lives, you'll ensure your testimony is accurate and true. It's a good job it's Granny's dead. To summarize then, immediately after hearing the voice of the victim, you then heard the gunshot, causing you to stumble upset on the items of the counter, scattering them over the shop floor. Now make it sound like we're clumsy. Don't forget, we tied up after like good little boys. Anyway, the way I see it. The bloke went out into place, was holding a gun, so he fired himself, yelling at the girl.
Hold it!
You're saying that Mr. Windibank had a gun in his hands? Oh yeah, I bet that was a sight, eh? Two of them waving guns at each other. Must have got pretty heated. Two of them waving guns. Before he shouted out, he was eager, if you don't want to get shot. Didn't really sound like he meant, but mine. More like an empty threat, you could say. Mr. Windibank was known to keep a revolver on his shop counter at all times. People say that to protect. You'd rather put the bullet in someone's head if you required. That someone being himself, of course. Good grief! Extraordinary devotion indeed, if I'm not being misguided. Well, he certainly sounded like he was ready to pull the good trigger on the other night. Only the person who was going to beat him to it. Cook's got his Bruce Popper. Bet he wished, yeah, And directly after those words, you heard the gunshot? More or less at the same time, Gov. Give him that gun! Bam! Nah, kind of thing. Yes, career in acting. I think we already said this dialogue. Let me, it didn't have give me a fright, because I was thinking this should come out the door that gets next.
Hold it!
So, you didn't try to open the storeroom door then? Not in your life. It was deathly quiet after that. It did. Pulled the wind right at me. But anyway, the door was locked, weren't it? No way that opening. Yes, of course. It was locked from the inside. Of course, we've been led to believe. It was, Gov, it was. From the inside. Right, so we had an out... Okay... Unless there was some other way to get a view inside that storeroom. Like through the keyhole or spiral, perhaps? No ring, no bells. No light, no lights. We had to cut our run before we noticed anything like that. We're still cutting our teeth in this game, see? But one day... We'll be ready to cut the mustard. Please, cut it out. But as we know, behind that door with the victim's lifeless body, with the accused not 2 feet away. Yes, unfortunately. Gina was there, unconscious, with the gun in her hand. To confirm, would it be correct to say that neither of you set foot inside the storeroom? That's right, Gov. That's right. Couldn't have wanted to. We stuck everything back. We're fine. It's scrapped from the black. I just pressed the fourth one, right?
Hold it!
Alright, time to press number 5. Yes, whereupon you fired the shot from your own gun, but you're Alex Sholmes. Oh, yeah, it was a bit hasty there. We told be told I was already shaking like a leaf when you charged up. You were shaking like a leaf, then don't put a loaded gun in your hand. Good advice, miss. Good advice. Could be told. Mental note made, miss. After that, we legged it down the street, but apparently we looked okay. But Darby was like that. After you've been handcuffed, the police found this revolver in your possession, correct? Well, yeah. But listen, that proves it done it, eh? Going out shot the pawnbroker, see? Never had a chance, did we?
Hold it!
And why shouldn't we believe that? Hey, what? Well, 'cause it's true, ain't it? Our place was totally empty when we went in. After that time, the victim was already in the storeroom, having been forced to open the door by the accused who had the gun in his head. In other words, on the night in question, these 2 witnesses never even laid eyes on the proprietor of the pawnbroker, Mr. Windibank. Correct? You got it, mister. Don to T. So the Skulkin brothers never actually encountered Mr. Windibank? Is that really true, I wonder? Yeah, I don't think that's true. That's it. That's the full extent of their testimony. What is Bruno? You look very fierce. I could pour you some herbal tea if you're tired. Oh, thank you, but I'm fine. Being such a logical thinker, I think I'll probably have to laugh. But I feel as though these brothers are still hiding something. Something important. It's nothing more than a feeling, though. I've got no proof to show it. Well, feelings can be very logical at times. Sorry? People's expressions, movement of their eyes. Yeah. Take all that in your brain. Quietly analyze and come with the feeling you describe. Uh-huh. Alright.
Objection!
Yeah, I don't get how this makes sense, but we'll see. So you're saying that on the night in question, the victim, Mr. Windibank, was wielding a gun, is that correct? It said Gov. You got the picture. Yeah, Nash, he has, no question. And yet, the photographic evidence obtained immediately after the incident clearly shows that Mr. Windibank was not holding a firearm in the description. Yeah, I thought this made it evident. That is weird. Hey, you what? Gordon Benedict. That ain't right.
Objection!
There could be no question for that victim's revolver was used in the incident. I would remind the court that the Windibank's gun was found at the scene. Yeah. Not what they identified as the murder weapon, but was found in the accused's hand. Yeah, that Molotovs used the victim's gun to finish it off. Like, kind of a gun. Kind of that thing.
Hold it!
Say exactly where you are. Right there. Yeah. If the crime had taken place as you so colorfully described in your testimony, it would give rise to an understandable and significant inconsistency in the foul moments you just acted out. Goodness, are you sure, counsel? You intrigue me, my learned friend, but let's see some evidence to support your claim. It should be this.
Take that!
According to their testimony, the witnesses claim to have heard a shout of "Give me that gun," followed by a gunshot. Indeed, with the two events happening almost simultaneously, we've been led to believe. Yeah, that's right. Now, if that testimony is true, will it mean that at the moment of death, the victim and his attacker would have been facing each other? However, the autopsy report clearly states that the victim died instantly after being shot from behind. So, as I stated before, there is an undeniable inconsistency. Yeah. Nyaga! There's an inconsistency. But there's God's honest truth. It is, Nash, it is. When he was shot that night, the Spockster had a gun in his hand, and we saw with our own eyes. Did you hear you right just now? You actually saw Mr. Windibank holding a gun? Something like that may have slipped out. Ladies and gentlemen, you have all just heard the admission by these two witnesses that on the night in question, they actually saw, with their own eyes, the victim wielding a gun. Which can only mean that despite their testimony to the contrary, the Spoken brothers must have encountered the victim in person. Nash, Nya! The guy actually needs a box to stand. Witness, explain yourselves at once. Well, the thing is, we weren't supposed to, It would seem that my previous warning fell on deaf ears. I made quite clear that the false witness would be the death of you. You might understand that you replaced the untruth of your original testimony with renewed lies? Ever so sorry, Governor. The truth is we, Cut it out, Nash. Cut it out. If you blab now, you know what it'll do to us. He? Who are they talking about? Let me make your position perfectly clear. You will talk. There is no other option available to you. Bruv, come on. The game's up. But you'll have to have guts to fathers. In that case, it hasn't been quite sunk in yet. No matter how hard you try to hide it, the truth will come out. On the night in question, it is now apparent that you brothers met face-to-face with the victim. I demand you testify again and explain the precise circumstances. Well. Do we have to? On the pain of death. I suggest you make yourselves fully aware that this is your very last chance to tell the truth. Alright, so we just got inside the gaff and... Alright, when the geezer showed us his mug. Yeah, that gun we borrowed, and it feels like it was possessed. Thought we'd add it. And old geezer, the bloke was strong as an ox. He chucked me over like over the counter. Pulled me a gum on him, and then I legged it into the back room. We never had nothing to do with it, killing him. That's what it appeared, I swear. So you're now telling us that the moments before the victim was killed in the storage room, you in fact encountered him in the main part of the shop? Well, yeah. Sorry. Well, we find ourselves at an interesting juncture. This changes matters considerably. Yes, my lord. This is it. The moment I've been waiting for. Another cross-examination. This is getting tedious. And said I relieved him to give the show his mug. That's pretty sketchy. Were you intending to shoot Mr. Windibank? No, never. I was just, you know... Looking out for me, bro. Weren't I? It was being flattened. Don't forget. My man whose shop was being burgled, yes. And then, the man fled into the storeroom when you point out your gun at him. That's it. Yeah, that's it. He showed me a way. I remember from like shutting himself in. Something about that last remark. I think that doesn't quite ring true. I wonder why Mr. Windibank ran away into the storeroom. What? Well, according to what everyone else is saying, Gina was in there waiting for him. The gun. Ah, yes, that's right. Gina allegedly used Windibank's gun to threaten him and force him into the storeroom door. In which that case, how did the gun end up in Mr. Windibank's hands again? I have no idea. That's strange, isn't it? Its low consistency could be significant. I should make a mental note of it. Look, the point is, me and my brother here. That's right, Nash. That's right, me and my brother here. So, that's all the others. We've come to a far. Alright, even less evidence. Alright, they're implying I have to get some new evidence. Let's press everything. When you say a geezer, I presume you mean the victim and the proprietor of the shop. Well, yeah, sorry. I mean, that's right. Keeping a close eye on the entrance to the back, obviously. I never thought once I would change the back room like that. The back room being the pawnbroker's storeroom? Yeah, okay. Only place he could have been. Already in storeroom when the brothers entered the premises. Which means Gina has been there point as well. Doesn't make sense, does it? If Gina had threatened Mr. Windibank into the storeroom with her gunpoint, then why would he have emerged in the same room all alone when the brothers arrived? Oh, I don't know. Did you see the accused at the time? What? The mall trawler? Couldn't tell ya. No way, Cobber. We had a bigger fish to fry then. I mean, the old geezer just lost it. You mentioned that Mr. Windibank shouted these words in the previous testimony too. However, you claimed that you heard him yelling outside the storeroom door. Did we? But the truth is, he was shouting the words at you, wasn't he? Well, yeah. The victim, Mr. Windibank, wielding a gun at the time? Whatever. Okay, yeah, okay. We don't need that junk. What you're saying is, you definitely saw Mr. Windibank with the gun at the time. Is that right? Yeah. Okay, the second point has a contradiction. He could have the gun because Gina was threatening him. Let's check the third and fifth statements. See if we get any new pieces of evidence. Or if Gregson speaks up. Rogue scan thinks that's accurate. Got tangled in some marionette. Okay. Oh geez, they did a lot of mess. Well, that big brother was flying over the counter like gunshot, I can tell ya. And you all get to pinned him. You did, Nash. You did. Alright, okay. At the time of question, the alarm was raised at the local police station via secret cable from the pawnbroker. There's a button under the counter used to activate it. It was presumably pressed by the victim. That's right. When the brothers fled the scene, back on the street, they ran straight into the arriving police, didn't they? Poor Mr. Windibank. He did everything he could to protect his shop. Yep, but now it's closing for good. Hold it! We don't get anything new here. We'll have to use the 1 AM photo for the second statement. On the inside. You know it was because we tried to open it. Didn't door that one. Good and strong. Alright, so in the end, the situation remains unchanged. Inside the storeroom with the pawnbroker, there was only one other person. The sole person who could possibly have shot the victim. The accused, Miss Gina Lestrade. It would indeed appear though. What do you say to that, counsel? I don't know. Was there anyone else apart from Gina who could have possibly shot Mr. Windibank? Mr. Skulkin. What? What was that looking for? From the moment you admitted that you encountered Mr. Victim's face-to-face that night, the course of this trial has changed completely. It did? What's your point, my learned friend? The question we must answer is, who could have shot Mr. Windibank? And it is the belief that the defense of the defendant is not the only possible answer at all. You have my attention? The case, let's return to this plan of premises. The victim was killed in the storeroom, which was locked from the inside. Those are the old facts. So pray, what is another possible answer in question for who shot the man could there be? Counsel, you may not provide answers to the court in respect to two conundrums. Two, my lord? Twice as many chances to be right. Maybe. Indeed. Namely, from what location did the culprit shoot the victim? And furthermore, where was the victim at the time? Understood, my lord. Alright, Bruno? I'm not entirely sure. But there's one thing I'm sure about. If I can prove that there's a credible new alternative to what happened, it would change Gina's prospects hugely. Yeah, that's true. So now, time for some clarity. Show the court is playing with the questions. Right, I want to try that. Defense believes that the culprit could have shot the victim from this location here. And the answer to the second question? Assume the culprit fired, or was the victim at the time?
Take that!
It's possible it could do something like that. Defense believes the victim would have been...
Objection!
What your answer is, in fact, show is that your own position is absurd. What are you saying? Oh. Answer is clearly flawed. Okay. So the question are, where did the culprit shoot the victim, and where was the victim at the time? Well, I don't see why we can't show them some other thing could have done in the storeroom, do you? Yes, that's right. Let's move here. Should I try again, or gather more information first? My lord, I would like to consider the situation a little more before giving my answers again. Consider the situation as much as you like. The answers do not exist. Very well. The court will hear from the witnesses again, while you deliberate, counsel. So that's all these murders. And they want to press this again. I feel a little stupid now. That would make sense.
Hold it!
If he died in that position. If you're shot from the back. Right, if I'm correct, he died in that position. Apart from the jack on a gently rising diagonal trajectory. If his body's there.
Take that!
Let's see that to the
Take that!
The culprit shot the victim from outside the storeroom. Continue. Mr. Windibank died instantly from a bullet wound in his back. Looking at the stain of blood on the storeroom floor, it doesn't appear that the body was moved after death, which tells us he most certainly was shot while he was in the storeroom. However, the crucial point is, where was the shooter when the vault bear was fired? So you're adamant the shot was fired from outside the storeroom? Well, according to the Skulkin brother earlier testimony, I pulled me gun on him, and then I legged it through the door in the back room. Then the Windibank ran away through the door. We have to assume that the door was open at the time. Ah! It was precisely at the moment when the victim was fleeing for his life that the brothers had a perfect opportunity to shoot the man back to the storeroom. Alright, they're screaming. Come think of it, do you remember what their prosecutor said at the start of the trial? Moving on to the filings of Scotland Yard's coroner, it states that the bullet entered the body on a rising diagonal trajectory. It means the victim was likely shot by someone significantly shorter in height than himself. Poor man, shot while he was running as fast as he could to safety. Of course, he would have been leaning forward as he was running away, so even if the bullet was fired horizontally, it would still have entered his body on an upward trajectory. The culprit wasn't necessarily shorter than Mr. Windibank.
Objection!
I'm sure my learned friend can't have forgotten that the storeroom door was found closed and locked from the inside. He claimed the victim was shot as he fled from the room. He also claimed that his corpse was also dexterous enough to turn the key into the lock. But what if someone else locked the door? Yes, then someone else could have locked the door from the storeroom door. Is that so? Very well then, counsel. Present your hypothesis to the court. The scenario that's described. The defense assertion is that the victim was shot from the outside of the storeroom, in which case, who shot and locked the storeroom door from the inside? It's possible that he could have done it.
Take that!
Obviously, that person could only have been... Just a moment, Romano. Huh? What? I'm just about to point dramatically at the prosecution and unveil amazing revelation. Sorry, but just before you do, maybe you should take a deep breath and think things through one more time. The room was locked in the inside, so whoever locked it must have been inside too, don't you think? Ah, like Pop Windibank, you mean? Oh yes, except that he was dead. There's someone else who could have been. Only one other person. Really? Oh, only one other? You're out of time, I'm afraid. For which you must be penalized. There's a time limit. Now then, let me pose the question again. The scenario I've described. The defense's assertion is that the victim was shot outside from the storeroom. In which case, who was shot and locked...
Take that!
Obviously, the person who locked the door was the only other person inside the storeroom at the time. The defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade.
Objection!
That's absurd. Isn't that the accused deliberately engineered the sealed room? Impossible reason. Actions who would only tie the nose around our neck. I'm inclined to agree, I must say. Well, counsel? Ah, yes. That's a tricky one, that, isn't it? Have big notions are... Remember that, please. But of course Ginny would have locked the door. It almost goes without saying, doesn't it? It does. Well, if I was Ginny in that situation, I know I would have locked the door, as quickly as I could. I mean... Those two burglars had just fired a gun in her direction, hadn't they? Oh yes, obviously. That does feel a little dumb. Before the two brothers died, Miss Lestrade and Miss Windibank were in the storeroom together. Now, I don't know what went on between them at the time, but at some point, Mr. Windibank must have heard the intruders breaking into his shop and left the storeroom. Intruders, eh? That's us, bruv. Your theory is correct. Now leave the accused alone in the storeroom. Yes, it would. Then, probably only moments later, the victim fled back to the storeroom door, hoping to escape danger. It hit in the back of the bullet. Mr. Windibank fell on the floor where he was, just inside the storeroom. Whatever Hash asks yourself now is, what would the defendant have done in that moment? I see where you're going with this. Outside the storeroom was the terrifying killer, who had just murdered Mr. Windibank. And as soon as those stuck Mr. Lestrade, she slammed the door and shot and locked it. In order to save her own life.
Hold it!
But I ain't. I mean, we ain't the ones who done it. We ain't, Gov. We ain't. Gotta believe us. I mean, come on. Never shoot them.
Objection!
That blindly isn't true, for I know for a fact you would. Because before my own eyes, you shot Mr. Sherlock Holmes. There's only one logical conclusion here. Mr. Scullin, you both have every opportunity to have been true perpetrators of Mr. Windibank's murder. Where does this leave us? You mean to say it wasn't the pickpocket who shot the pawnbroker after all? Yeah. 3 brothers? No, Gregson isn't part of them. First time ever, and probably the last. Well, I think you've done it. Surely I've got a verdict of not. An admirable effort, my learned friend. What's this now? He's laughing. You find your situation amusing, Lord Van Dykes? I find myself the defense's argument most persuasive. I dare say. Such chicanery is the bread and butter of the street performers in your provincial eastern nation, but such blatantly malicious conjuring tricks amount to nothing more than inconceivable perfidy here. Whatever you say. My hypothesis you put forth will not stand by the law you say, because, you see, you take the fatal flaw. Do you mean to tell me that you're unaware that your logic's failing? I say, Lord Dykes, my idea to explain this bog enduring trick... The fatal flaw in my learned friend's argument is really simple to understand. Assuming you're not too dim-witted to count bullets. My George, count bullets! Oh dear. He knows them. Huh? What's everyone talking about? Counsel. Yes, sir? Tell the court, how many bullets were found at the scene of the crime? Two. 2 bullets. Correct. The first, that which was hit the victim in the back, ending his life, and the second, which was struck the detective, Dr. Harlock Shaw, on his arrival at the scene. Indeed. The bullet which injured Mr. Sherlock Holmes passed through the body and struck the calendar. Your lordship's understanding is correct. Furthermore, we know there are 2 firearms involved in the incident. The revolver belonged to the victim, Mr. Windibank, and the Skulkin's bought the revolver. Evidence shows that a single bullet was fired from each gun. Yes, indeed, it does. A single bullet from each. Now then, my learned friend. Yourself told the court only moments ago that these 2 brothers shot Mr. Harlock Sholmes right before your own eyes. Yes, I did. My goodness. You think you'll find if that single bullet was fired from the brothers, yet Sholmes it means Windibank not shot by the same gun. Stop. Exactly. Yes, this Nipponese should form represented. However, it was never anything more than a diversion or a threat. No hope standing against scrutiny. I've stopped screaming for a reason. I'm just getting a little sad. And there he goes with the whole bottle again. Lord Van Zykes. Yeah, please don't do that. But the court needs to open its eyes. The accused, Miss Gina Lestrade, is no ordinary little girl. Despite her young years, she can regrettably no longer be described as a juvenile. No, the person in the dock so far is from law-abiding citizen. She has a past road with a criminal criminal record. The truth is, the accused broke into the pawnbrokery on the night in question with loathsome intent. You can see beyond doubt its print, which suspects her threatening the murder weapon. And I have here, in my possession, a more piece of evidence that the prosecution wishes to present. What's that just doing here? I'm saying that whatever it is, Miss McGill, it's down to the yard. Thank you very much. No, don't. Don't give it to him. It's mine, that is. Mine. I'm sorry, miss. Anything belonging to Mr. McGill also has to be taken in as evidence now. Yes, that music box disc. Mr. McGill's music box disc. That day before the hateful murder of Mr. Windibank, the accused attempted to make off with this article, which clearly doesn't belong to her. With none of the stuff in the pocket, but by brute force and brazen buttons. Good gracious! Make a mistake. I know death with the girl would stop. Of course, because it's a fact of peril. I see. I think it would be prudent to type the music box disc into evidence, counsel.
Hold it!
Lord Van Zykes, Inspector Gregson. What? Yes, Inspector? We had a meeting yesterday at the yard with the prosecution service, and, I think it was agreed that the disc wouldn't be used as evidence. What's this all about? Why is the Inspector acting strangely? That's the first time he said anything to Van Zykes at all. I'm unaware of any such meeting. But those were the instructions, right from the top. The government's bigwigs were insistent. Inspector, I am the prosecutor, and I alone determine how to present my case. Your warning is noted. Thank you. The prosecution wishes to proceed with submitting this disc as evidence, my lord. And indeed. Balef? Prosecution has established the accused's motive. There is nothing more to add. Ladies and gentlemen, the jury, I await your informed decisions and rest my case. I don't believe it. Me neither. Yep, it's blood. Hey Iris, can you do your magic? Actually, I feel as though I might have noticed that before. Ah, it's my time to shine again. Thought I'd be waiting forever. Gotta get done quickly, Iris, in a flash. What? Oh, a lovely bright shade again. That's green. What is it? It's just the green. It's not the first time we've seen that color, is it? Yeah, that blood's also green. Wasn't that blood caused by that Egbert Benedict? I had the jar on my side for once, in all of 5 minutes. Oh dear, it wasn't even for 5 minutes, Bruno. My lord, what if I might say something at this point? Proceed, Mr. Foreman. Read something about a bit of fog up now, truth be told, but all of a sudden. Yes, it's blatantly obvious to me, my men. There's one thing for it. Oh no. Very well. The court will hear from the jury. Ladies and gentlemen, you will present your leanings and defend its culpability.
Guilty.
Guilty. Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty!
Guilty.
I have a consistent amount of the jury, it seems. When you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth. That's my line. I wrote that for Hurley. Again, how dare you use it against us? Don't worry, Iris. I don't think we're finished yet. There's still more to this case than we realize. It must be, because there's one thing I'm completely certain of. Gina didn't shoot Miss Windibank. That's about no doubt. Very well. We will proceed with the second summation examination of the day. Corpse Foreman, are you either ready? He is red-headed. You explain on what grounds you have determined the defendant to be guilty. One, so Rogue already says different between us, a law-abiding citizens. As 2 bullets were found at the scene, I would say the whole case is done and dusted. I never imagined a simple operation would cause me such good grief. Again with that? I'm seeing for a busy day ahead. And but let's accept, sir. I've seen many shootings. There's nothing I know about guns. I rather have bolted my argument and put forward a chap in black. When I fell apart... Well, no more. The whole courtroom is turning against me. It's not fair. Iris, that prosecutor's being mean. Because Janie's done some... Yeah. Allow me to savor this fruity vintage, while I savor the spectacle of your fruitless debate on the matter. Here's the truth coming out, eventually. That's enough preamble. Counsel, proceed with the summation examination. Yes, my lord. I still only have 1 life left.
Hold it!
Would you please stop muttering about things you have done to the trial, sir? The defense's life is on the line here. Well, the thing is, I couldn't really say that has nothing to do with this trial, but to be honest... I mean, there's no question that the man was shot, but the bullet simply vanished from the stomach. It's quite inflexible, don't you think? I almost don't want to ask, but the surgery you've been muttering about this time, you were operating on... What was the fellow's name now? Hurlinch? No. Hurlock? No. Hairlock? Hurlock Sholmes, by any chance? Oh, good lord. It was Hurlock Fellow. What? You're... Oh, God. That's right. Using the very latest in these techniques, I might add. It was a fairly major op, I can't tell you. This is crazy. Let me see. The fellow boarded not long after midnight. Remember correctly? They said he'd been shot by some criminal or another. It opened up like a shot. But then the funny thing is, I went over and fine-tooth comb. I couldn't find a bullet anywhere. So I'm afraid I had to throw up my hands and stitch fell back up. I hate to state the obvious, but... Yes? Surely that's because the bullet is still at the scene of the shooting? Counsel for the defense is correct. Clearly shown in the photographic prints, the bullet smoking bright is fired and the Sholmes hit him in the stomach region. And inside his body, onto the shop where the calendar was hanging by the door. You can find it's really quite simple if you just consider the two-dimensionally. Oh, what do you think I am, son? Well, jury number 4, about the best I can do. As soon as I saw the wound in the man's stomach, I flipped him over. Like a pancake? Are you saying you checked his back? Of course I did. And there wasn't a trace of injury. No sign that blood had left the body at all. What? That's the point. The logical conclusion is that blood is still somewhere inside the man's innards. Like exactly I saw about slicing him up. And it's still not in the writer, even now. That's how it's think. Somebody explain how it happened? It's almost as much of a mystery as how this jury was put together. I might have something important to say.
Hold it!
I thought you were just a tourist. Good day. I am visiting them from State I'd like to take a bus to Crystal Towers, please. There's no way he's just a visiting tourist. So, you're a ballistics expert? Who knew? I have much experience with guns. Ah. I've lived through many, how do you say? Extreme, violent, bad of, no, blood of, extreme violent bloodbaths, perhaps? Those. Extreme violent bloodbaths. English is very difficult tongue. Considering the sort of people you associate with, I'm surprised you still have a tongue. Anyway, if you still have questions about bullets and guns, if you ask me, there's nothing I know. He's very confident in knowledge of his guns, that's for sure. But, it's possible, please. I'm in Russian language. He's not very confident in his knowledge of English, though, is he? They managed to be helpful to each other, so I think we should start from the top and take the other four. Just because Mrs. Strahd has a history of pickpocketing doesn't mean she has to legally emerge. What you're saying? Ah, well. All members of the British Army to quick to judge. Nah. Making assumptions about people because they're a soldier or pickpocket is wrong and dangerous. Well, yes, might have a point there, I suppose. But let's not forget the girl has already shown she had it before. They say that she's shown she had it in there. Are you referring to this? Exactly. Try to swipe. Am I mistaken? Yeah. Never actually seen the real thing. Can't wait to have a closer look at it. The Shrooms did use his caramel to make a copy of the disc, and then he ordered every type of music box he could. Right, I remember that. We still don't know what tune it plays though, do we? But I'd love to see how the original compares to Hurley's copy.
Hold it!
The number of bullets that has you convinced? Only because a bullet was fired and 2 guns had been down by the police. Yeah, I'm starting to get a strong feeling there was a third bullet fired. Especially since Herlock's bullet apparently was never left his body. Yeah, and now she's implying that. I thought there were bullets somewhere, which we were unaware. After you consider my position. I could do the long stretch. I, don't suppose this would pass as a third bullet. It passes for a bullet as much as you pass for a lawyer, my learned friend. Coming from you, I'm going to take that as meaning not much.
Objection!
I guess you are supposed to put those against each other. Oh, ballistics expert. Putting PITT. On the 9 question. Wait. The idea that I do pit jurors against. That all I do is pit jurors against each other. Since there was no sign of anything on his back, I'm assuming the bullet didn't pass through him. However, no bullet was found lodged in Mr. Sholmes' body either. Furthermore, a bullet was found lodged in the wall of the shop when Mr. Sholmes was shot. Journal number 6. Hello, my name is Valen. Pleased to meet you. This apparently contradiction of the facts is so clearly troubling. Journal number 4. Are you able to explain the mystery? I have seen very similar situations in Motherland. It was night. There was blizzard. I was golly. The snow was piling high on both sides of the road. It was very narrowing and dangerous. Don't ask too many questions. I was shot from behind and fell down on the snow. The situation was very similar to what I heard today from Doctor. They could not find bullet in my body. And no sign of, how do you say, ethic wound. Then, where'd the bullet go? The bullet never hit me. Well, if it never hit you, then why'd you fall down? The bullet hit a frozen wall of ice very close to my side. What? One small piece, very sharp, broke anyway from one of ice and pierced my body. It made a deep wound that looks just like a bullet wound. Good gracious! Of course, piece of ice quickly melted inside me. That solution to the mystery of death spring bullet. But that doesn't answer the question at all. The shooting happened in pawnbroker's shop. Not some snowy mountain in another country. Just an idea, but we might not be looking at exactly the same scenario here. Runo. Where exactly was Curly shot again? Well, according to the report, in his stomach? Sort of around the area, I think. Well, that's precisely where he always wears a little pouch on his belt. A pouch? Actually, I might have noticed something like that. Yes, a pouch. It's where he keeps 3 glass fills of very dangerous chemicals used in investigations. Doctor, where's the pouch Mr. Sholmes was wearing? Well, the fellow had nothing like that on his person when he arrived at the hospital, as far as I remembered. If I may. Would have been Dykes? Well, I realized if we're in for prosecution to conduct during a summation examination, I should inform the defense that I have a pouch in question. Oh, thank you! As I understand it, when the police arrived in the scene and found Mr. Sholmes injured, they removed the pouch in order to assess the wound. Ah, thank goodness. I was getting forgetful for a moment. Since then, it's been my safekeeping along. I see. I personally vouch for the fact it's not been until it occurred. Very well. While extremely unconventional during the summation examination, I must demand that the prosecution presents its I am with all speed. I see. Yep, and one of the glasses is indeed broken. One of the files is broken and the lead is squished in the back. It's almost as if the file exploded. Exploded? So, that night, a bullet from the Skulkin brothers' gun struck Mr. Sholmes' pouch. It was the glass file exploding that caused Fellow's injury. The bullet did not penetrate the victim, but was deflected into a wall of shot. A delightfully complex aroma. Well, it will appear one mystery has been solved at least. Though it has no bearing on the truth of this case. The bungling and the burgling brothers shot the detective, and the accused shot the pawnbroker. At least my mystery is solved. I can sleep easy tonight. Thank you, young man. Thank you very much. Glad I could help. To do its bearing on conundrums to solve, Kurt will still ask her the scruffy pouch as evidence. Now, summation examined. It would appear that defense is somewhat struggling to alter our opinion. Bullet. Knew it. The file has been smashed into pieces. Presumably, this is where the bullet struck. Since the bullet hit the chemical in the file, there has been a really big explosion. Well, Harley's potions and chemicals are amazingly useful in investigation work he does, but they're also quite tricky to handle. Safety at least. Here's where the file broke, the chemical will have ignited. Note to self, always walk on the right side of homes in the future. Left is the danger zone. It's really scorched badly just here. Oh, the strap's broken. Must be where the bullet hit. Let me see. What the? Iris, look! Behind the broken file was... Did you see it? That's... a Skulkin's brother's bullet! What a stroke of luck had hit the pouch. Made the discovery. What this means is... there were 3 bullets fired. Yep, we found the 3rd bullet. Ah, goodness, we found that. Please, my lord. A little more time. Alright, that's a little trivial.
Hold it!
Let's just cut to the chase and get to the part where we need the gun.
Take that!
Here it is. We discovered it just now. Yes, on the night in question with the Bake's pawnbrokery, another bullet was fired. What is this new trickery? You Nepinese Kunjar? Where'd you find that bullet? It was lodged inside Mr. Sholm's pouch. What? This pouch was removed from around Mr. Sholm's waist before he was taken to hospital. Since then, it has been touched by no one. Did you mean to say? The shot fired by Mr. Skulkin brothers that night? Yes, as your lordship has summarized, it hit this pouch. But that makes no sense whatsoever. Very enough, whatever about the bullet was fired, Mr. Sholmes. Clearly visible in the photographic print. Ah! 2 guns from the scene have already been submitted to court record as evidence. Yes, that of Windibank and belonging to the Skulkin brothers. The examination of both guns revealed that only a single bullet had been fired from each. Ah! But that must mean... That's right. We now know that on the night in question, 3 bullets were fired. However, only 2 bullets were fired from the guns recovered from the crime scene. Until that inconsistency somehow explained, we cannot and must not pass judgment. Order! While this summation remains incomplete, the court has been presented with new facts. Facts will appear to shake the very foundations upon the case against the defendant has been built. My prerogative in the situation? I hereby temporarily suspend the summation examination. By Jupiter! What? Bella, bring the witness back to stand at once. Witnesses? Governor! Were you listening to the proceedings while the defense carried out the summation examination? We was, Governor, we was. Perhaps we can dispense the tedious preamble. Simply answer this one question. The 3rd bullet has been identified at the scene of the crime. What do you make of that? Make of it? Gov, I don't make nothing of it. Can't help it. Is it one of yours? Gorbling, Gov, Gorbling, not a chance. Is that the case? Did you have an accomplice? What? What? Never! The Skulkin brothers not work alone. Just 2 of us, that's our trademark. How soon we forget, poor Scully. The trio of the bullets from the crime scene originated from the firearms which you have evidence. A 3rd bullet was fired from another gun. Where is it? Lummy, that's an ead scratcher. Counsel for the defense. Yes? I should like to hear your thoughts regarding the news developments. 3rd bullet and the mysterious missing firearm came. Thinking back... I think I'm starting to form a picture. A picture of what really happened that night. My lord, I think it's clear the 3rd bullet tells us about the Skulkin brothers. On that night, on Windibank's pawnbrokery, the brothers must have had working with a 3rd man. The witnesses are clearly doing their best to cover up the existence of their accomplice. But the evidence points to all the fact that there was someone else present, carrying a gun.
Objection!
An accomplice, you say? Pigswell. These protective proceedings have already forced us to endure 2 summation examinations, yet in all that time, there has been not a murmur of a third man. If this apparently wrath like exists, the court must be shown hard evidence. Without it, this fancy will be crushed. Ugh. Yep, we need the answer. Firstly, proof, evidence that this accomplice was ever at the scene of the crime. Secondly, the identity of this superior's character. But how can I discern the identity of the person they are hiding? Well, counsel, I'm supposed to prove the existence of this accomplice and reveal the person's identity even. In response to the command, my lord, defenses. And then is where we show the color. Defense is ready. I believe I can provide all the answers the prosecution demands. So, my Nipponese friend. Let me I think you have something to say. This promises to be interesting. I have to push forward now. There's no other option. I need to use every bespoke use of evidence I have to me will make a difference. In that case, counsel, I'd like to ask you to present the evidence without delay. On the night moot question, the moment leading up to the death of the victim, what proof do you have there with the third intruder?
Take that!
Oh, music didn't change. The evidence is right here. This is portfolio. By Jove, that portfolio again, is it? Do you expect the court to rifle through your papers itself? Be more specific. You claim one of those blood samples proves evidence of this third intruder? Well, which is it? Alright. Let's clear that.
Take that!
What am I looking at here? There appears to be some green paint or such like around the bullet hole in the middle of the calendar. That's a blood stain, my lord. A blood stain? Green blood? Curious, even for you. It's important to understand that the intruder was some inhuman creature. It's developed by Mr. Harlock Scholland. By the great detective? New invention, stop. Not yet written story, stop. It's this, you see. It doesn't have a name yet, though. This fogger sprays a chemical that reacts with the color elements in people's blood to change its color. Different elements of people's blood? Yes, everyone's blood is slightly different, you see, because it's made up of different elements. By seeing what color it changed into, you can tell in a flash whose blood it is. Oh, that brings up a whole extra dimension to looking at blood. Blood in the courtroom, stop. Very exciting, stop. An example. This one shows blood of the victim, Mr. Windibank. Ah, striking blow. Yes, so you see, the green color of the blood stain in the calendar shows that someone else was shot in the main part of the shop. I'll hold fire there, young man. Could be from some unrelated incident, could it? No, it's not unrelated. The date showing on the calendar is the date on which Mr. Windibank was killed. By golly! Therefore, you can assume that whoever was shot was shot on the same day. And whose blood is it? Well, the Spoken brothers in the stand don't appear to be suffering from any gunshot injuries. Which means it must be the blood of somebody else. Third intruder, in fact.
Objection!
Whose identity is the court still waiting to hear. Can't delay this any longer, my learned friend. Who's the alleged third intruder?
Take that!
The man's name is Egbert Benedict. Egbert Benedict? What on earth are you talking about, counsel? He paid a visit to Windibank's pawnbroker on the day afternoon before the incident took place. When the accused attempted to deceive the pawnbroker in releasing an article into her possession. That's right. The man's identified by the defense, Mr. Egbert Benedict. then attempted to take the article from the defendant by force. Broker. Yes, sir? I believe this filthy pocket thief has just redeemed an article from you, no? Yes, the article in question belongs to me. I demand for it to be returned at once. Now that's a lie. What are you trying to pull? Give back my overcoat, you wastrel. And needless to say, he needs box this too. Inspector Gregson was there at the time. He can attest to what happened. In the end, it was the inspector himself who took the disc. Would you corroborate on this account, Inspector? Yes, my lord. There's more or less what happened. In the interest of being thorough, I asked Windibank for a print to show in the fellow. Thing from one of his red-handed recorder grubbies. Yep, that's him talking to Windibank over there in the morning. And you claim this man is his brother's accomplice? Well, Mr. and Mr. Skulkin? Never seen together before in my life. Oh my god, never seen him. Well, somewhat unsurprisingly, it appears our witnesses disagree with the assertion. I'm sure your lordship recalls my learned Nepinay's friend's actual assertion, which was that he could prove the identity of the alleged accomplice. Yes, and I can. Then show us the evidence. I agree. We must... It is the last piece of evidence. I've had a feeling that something has been missing from the very start. But now, I'm going to drag... I get kicking and screaming in this courtroom. Are you ready to present your answer to the court then, counsel? Yes, my lord. The defense will present the evidence now.
Take that!
As I mentioned before, on the afternoon of the day in question, the defendant attempted, deceitfully, admittedly, to reclaim the disc from Windibank's, which was when the aforementioned Edgar Benedict appeared on the scene, I believe. This man attempted to pull in the article from the defendant's possession, no? That's correct, my lord. Myself was present at the time. I was following this, and a mere accident occurred. He got scratched, didn't he? But of course, sir. Here's the disc for you. Very well. I shall bid you farewell. Say goodbye to style. Wait a minute. That disc is mine. What do you think you're doing, you little tramp? You've drawn blood, you filthy animal. The music box disc, it has countless small but sharp metal protrusions over its surface. The protrusion caused Mr. Benedict's finger to bleed. And is resulting in a smear of blood and is still visible on the disc now. Godless. A bloodstain, isn't it? Using my trusty fogger gun. Yes. And we add to the results to this portfolio. I say, it's green. It's exactly the same color as the blood around the calendar. The evidence is conclusive. This man calling himself Mr. Edgar Benedict, who was in Windibank's earlier that day, is the accomplice of the present at the scene of the crime last night. So there was someone else there. Those two brothers now, they're all sweating buckets. Oi, what are you talking about? It's boiling in here. My lord, it's the opinion of the defense. Mr. Edgar Benedict should be summoned to testify. It will be certainly seen that we can ill afford to ignore this gentleman's apparent presence.
Objection!
This has gone on long enough now. It's like an ignorance of the mechanics of law. Alex Sholmes, you say? Yes, I've heard the name. A protagonist in a series of short stories of the vulgar classes. A god of detection of such. And now you employ chemical substances devised by the fantastical persona in the highest court in the land? Do you expect us to take you seriously? The samples made by the playthings are not to be fit called by evidence. The bloodstain turned shade of green. What of it? Here's to you successfully proving that no other blood in the world could turn the same color. Ah, well... in this prey, not even suggesting that we should take Mr. Shum's word for it. Is he right? I knew it'd come to this. Of course, Mr. Shum's inventions isn't going to be recognized by any official body. I remember what Father Christmas over there said before. I was temporarily suspending the examination. Ah. In other words, the examination isn't over yet, is it? Good grief! What did you just say, young girl? Examination. The decision is whether or not the trial continues. It's with the hands of the 6 jurors, isn't it? Right. At least. Not for now. It really just comes down to the one thing. Oh, good day, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. I'm convinced by what you say, Bruno. Is that about right, would you say? I did misunderstand something. Unbelievable. Mr. Shum's partner is forced to be reckoned with. Iris Wilson, sharpshooter. After the shrewd process of the situation from an entirely unexpected source, I must be acknowledged that the previous summation examination has yet to reach its conclusion. This is absurd. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the court does now look to you and your filings to the matter. As presidents of their Majesties Britain, I'm sure you will come to fair and justice conclusions. So then, state your final decision's term, please.
Not guilty.
Not guilty. Not guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty!
Not guilty.
I'm surprised the doctor voted guilty. 2 call guilty, 4 call not guilty. That's the outcome of the summation examination.
Objection!
My lord, with all due respect, this is an outrage. The prosecution refuses to accept this decision. On what grounds? If these jurors are persuaded by some half-baked concoction devised by a pretender to real police work, then are too ignorant to be trusted with the judgment for anyone's guilt. I'm sorry, Lord Van Dykes, but the outcome of the summation examination cannot be ignored. The trial will continue. Nevertheless, we find ourselves in a rather awkward situation. The defense has very reasonably requested the pony of a new witness. But sadly, I fear that will be impossible. What? The name of the gentleman gave for himself, Edgar Benedict, is quite clearly false. Could I say something? What was that, please? Who spoke? It was me, my lord. Juror number 5. Have you to say, madam? Possible. Inspector. Me? Ma'am? I wonder if you might show the photographic print to me again. The one in which the gentleman was shown. Oh yeah, yes, this one you mean. Mr. Benedict? Yes. There's no doubt in my mind. Juror number 5, you don't mean to say, you know this man? Yes, I know him. What? Good gracious! Order! Juror number 5, how on earth? I'm communications officer. Stop. We can clearly see the gentleman in the photograph is stop. Also a communications officer. Stop. He works in my office. Stop. Very talented operator, in fact. Stop. He should be in the communication station now. Stop. Have him wait at the telegraph. Stop. This doesn't seem right somehow. I can't put my finger on why, but it doesn't feel right. I suppose we can imagine the accomplice would be some sort of hardened criminal. It's a bit unexpected to find out he has a respectable job by day. Gentleman at London's communicating station. We should be able to summon you within the hour. Same arrangements with all haste. Court will recess for 1 hour. Dr. Gregson? Yes, my lord? I should like to hear from you specifically about the events at the pawnbroker and the Dane question. Come to my chambers during the recess. Yes, sir. My lord. Very well. Court is adjourned until 1:40 p.m.